41 speed. Attack speed push takes you to 48. You would want to have joint drive personally, but something to improve the speed even more. But 48 speed base Forrest with 57 attack, which is pretty legit. And your defense is looking at 30 and 46 res. All the while you have a bit of healing to keep your you have a 2-point healing and you get an overheal past the attack speed push. So it's pretty decent. Restore, Windfire, Balm are pretty good, but this could backfire depending on your opponent. Personally, I take Miracle and whatnot, but if it's for general play, which is this is looking like, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Why don't you use this in Ether Raids? This would be pretty decent. Either way. Chad, I've told this story before. The first time ever I looked at Forrest, I really thought it was a girl. Or, not it. He was a girl. But, like, I was so confused. I was so confused. And you guys laughed at me. I still remember that. Either way, there's not much to change. It's just a really good Forrest. Alright, my first suggestion is for you to get her to level 40. And since I don't know your stats, I can't even give you a good review. So yeah, I think you should level her up to level 40. Yes, I give you a good suggestion. Aside from that, I think you got a really good kit. Her attack is actually kind of mediocre, but she does make up some of it with true damage by out-resing her opponent. So it is more important to get Fortress Defense res. The scary thing about Selkie is that she's actually really, really tanky. I would show you if this guy wasn't so lazy and got her to level 40 before showing her off here. But yeah, just imagine her having really good res and decent defense. But once you factor in the damage reduction from the res, out-resing your opponent, she actually is pretty hard to kill. Additionally, you might be like, okay, what if I just bait her? Well, you can't because she's a cav. So attack +2, and then attack defense -4 on foe, and they cannot make a follow-up attack. So she really does like take very minimal damage. She's a really good hero for Ether Raid's defense. You find a Selkie alone, you're probably not killing her unless you have anti-beast weapons. It's easier to kill Lethe than Selkie, which is the big thing. So she's really, really, really good. So yeah, congratulations on getting 10 copies of her and reaching level 1. Reshi says, my merge project's almost complete. Probably a month and I'll be done. Should I keep the current B skill or try to pull for Wyvern Flight? Chat, Wyvern Flight. Do you think it's a good skill or not? I'll wait for you guys. Because the reality is, I've looked at so many heroes use Wyvern Flight. There are only 2 heroes I like it on. One is Minerva and the other one's Jill. I think those 2 are the best ones for it. But the thing is, I think Wyvern Flight is... I think it's overrated. I wouldn't bother with it personally. I like Guard Bearing. 40 plus 8 plus 4, 45 HP, 61 attack, 43 speed, 39 defense, 22 res. Now, Guard Bearing isn't the best on Minerva, but it'll keep her alive. Particularly from magical heroes. 50% damage reduction, but it doesn't offer you anything in other battles. The good news is, though, her defense is pretty good. With the Dragoon Axe, it's effectively 43. They can't get their specials up as well because it has Guard on top of that. But why did you go for attack? The problem here is, I guess so. 4 plus 7, 11, 54 defense. 54 speed plus another 4, so 58 speed. I guess so, but I would have gotten rid of this. I think you should do attack defense solo instead. In which case your attack is so stupendously high. But the reason why I attack defense solo is because that's 6 defense plus 4, 10 defense. So at all times you have 49 defense. 49 defense, in which case, even if you take a normal attack for most heroes, you wouldn't take too much damage. So you wouldn't worry about not using a B skill like Desperation or something. So then Guard Bearing would really come into effect really well. But in the kit like this thus far, I think you take a bit too much damage. Guard Bearing will keep you alive and safe on the enemy phases, but on your own phase, you got nothing protecting you. And usually, even though you're hitting really, really hard at this point, right? 1 cooldown Ruptured Sky. 7 plus 61 plus 4, 11 plus 4 is 15, right? 11, yeah, it's 15. You are hitting a 76. You're getting really close to one-shotting a lot of characters. But that's why if you use attack defense solo, that turns into 82, in which case you're probably, yeah, you're just one-shotting a lot of things. I would do that instead. I'd do attack defense solo, but I understand why you're actually -2 on that number I just gave you, but yeah. Yeah, I think you got enough speed, but for that reason, I would have just gone for plus speed, so you would have guaranteed yourself enough speed, but yeah, that's fine. Anyways, just run attack defense solo. It's better if you're going to run one solo, might as well run 2. But yeah, nothing else. Guard bearing's perfectly good. There aren't really better B skills, I guess. Dragoon Shield I would have kept personally, but once you put attack speed solo on, might as well just keep it. There aren't really better B skills for her, and I do think Wyvern Flight is overrated, but in a case like this, you would use it very well. But you gotta remember, Wyvern Flight is on your base defense. Base. So if you only have 39 defense, that's what it's being calculated from. Which is why I think it's overrated. Because, yeah, it just wouldn't work very well. It's not your Dragoon Axe, it's not the attack defense solo that gets calculated, it's just straight up base. It's just 39 defense. That's why I personally think it's just overrated. To get the best usage out of it, you gotta make sure you get 2 attacks in. But then if you get 2 attacks in, you usually have a good amount of speed, which means your defense isn't that high. Though with that said, Minerva's probably the second best user of it next to Jill. So yeah, personally, I think this build's good. Just give her attack defense solo. Bride's Fang, special trigger cooldown -1. And if special triggers before or during combat and you attack, grant special cooldown count -1. So it starts at 3. So you attack, they attack, you miracle, then you attack. I don't know. Is that actually a loop? The math doesn't. Oh, it is a loop. Sorry, special. Okay, never mind. It is a loop. Because it's 4 cooldown, -1, 3, -2, 2, and if they hit you, so you attack, then they hit you, miracle triggers. Okay, it makes sense. It is a loop. It's a Mystic Boost Miracle Loop Nailah. Wow, what? That's actually really cool. Never thought about it that way, but you could make this work on Nailah. Is this the best looper? No, because the best looper for Miracle is actually Hell, and Hell's Miracle doesn't even work consistently, right? Because it doesn't work against mages, but it's still a really good Miracle loop. That's the cleanest Miracle loop you can do. Still, this is not bad, but you have to sacrifice your B slot. But then again, as long as they don't hit you first, I think you're good. Right? Because you attack -1, then Miracle's ready, they attack, Miracle triggers, then you attack, get the kill. Get the kill, Miracle's at 1 cooldown, Miracle's just ready to go. Mystic Boost gets you to adds a 6 HP, so you have 7 HP, so you can at all times just stay alive. You have like no HP, but you'll just stay alive. Yeah, that's really interesting. If you didn't attack, inflict status on target and foes within 1 space, target restricting movement to 1 space through the next action. Yeah, this could actually stop. Actually really interesting. You could prevent your opponents from like getting to you as well. And then Bride's Fang would get you your foe's HP is over 75%, attack speed, defense -5 on foe during combat. You know what? Yeah, this is pretty cool. Okay, I actually kind of like this. I never thought about this, but Nailah is a legitimate Miracle looper. Huh. That's interesting. All right.
Definitely has potential for it, and we see it right here.
I never even thought, like, I would have never even given this a second thought. For me, it basically starts and ends at Hell. I think that's the best one. Though, Byleth is also pretty good at it. He says, Dominance and Summoner supported Winter Altina, and in case I forgot, they changed their name to Dom plus some. That's right. Wow, have a bit of faith in me. I read your message again. Oh shit. Okay, well. That's not even fair. This is, you know, I bet somebody like Hugh's not gonna struggle in Ether raids, like, ever. I think you pretty much just, because this is with Dominance, right? Dominance already makes it most. We've seen crazy shit happen with Dominance. We've seen Buckethead, Dono, kill the Flame Emperor. We've seen that before. It's utterly insane. And then you do have someone like Altina who's actually a powerhouse. Oh boy. 40 plus 10 plus 5 plus attack. I'm not going to bother going through the rest of this because it doesn't really matter, because it comes down to Fierce Breath. Attack plus 4, so 63 attack. So as soon as
65.
the battle starts... Huh?
65, probably 66, maybe even 69.
For,
remember, summoner support, and then probably Regan and maybe the other Altina.
Okay, sure. But it doesn't even matter. The reality is, because Fierce Breath, as soon as the battle starts and Vanish triggers, she attacks, -2 cooldown, and the next hit is Twin Blades. And because Dominance is already there, this is the reason why I wanted Altina so badly. Because I feel like in almost most cases, you just go in, press 2 buttons, right? Dominance, Smite or whatever. You're in range now, end turn, and then you win. Like, that's it. The only times this gets broken up is from if they have AoEs or Hardy Bearing AoEs or Lilna or whatnot. But those are becoming progressively more rare, so this would finish most Ether Raid battles like instantly, because I'm not even sure they survive the first blow from Altina, but if they do, they get rewarded with a Twin Blades, in which case they definitely don't survive. So yeah. And you guys want to know the worst thing? The absolute worst thing is this. Even if some miracle, whatever is attacking Altina, in fact does survive 2 hits, including Twin Blades, they probably still don't kill Altina, because she has 42 defense and 44 res, which of course with summoner support, with dominance, with whatever other mythical hero support, her HP or defense and res are even higher. This is, in my opinion, Altina is the best hero in the game. Like, overall best hero. Like, this is the closest thing to a perfect hero in my eyes. There's no such thing as a perfect hero, by the way, chat. But this is the closest thing. She's just that ridiculous. This would end most people's teams without a second thought. Like, it's just press a couple buttons. You don't even have to check your opponent's team. That's it. Like, it's that easy. Yeah, it's such a ridiculous hero. The one thing I do want to know about is this.
Extra damage from dominance.
Yeah, I guess. Alright, sure, if you think you need it. Oh, yeah. I do wish you got the new Velouria to +10 instead. New Veloria's new BST makes her a lot more viable for Arena and long-term a better unit. And just because of the cooldown dropping, allows her to set up with more unique partners, like mages now have like fast specials. But yeah. With that said, DC Nasty Disrupt times pulse speed res solo with Wolf Up Fang. This is really nice, right? That's our turn 1, 2 cooldown drop, 1 cooldown soul, which turns into no cooldown soul. So you got soul instantly. This does work together, right? I would assume so. Otherwise, you would not do this, right? But yeah, instant
that will
soul
work on turn 1. Yes.
Okay, instant soul, and then afterwards it just becomes 2 cooldown soul, which is respectable. That's good. Instant soul is important, but you might be like, well, Nims, if you have instant soul and you attack, you don't heal anything. Okay, that's true. But then your Wolf Up Fang gives you 10 extra damage from the special triggering, so you have a better chance of one-shotting your opponent. So it's fair. Yeah, speed res soul is perfect on her. So yeah, really good Velouria. Just stay within two spaces of your ally for a bit more extra stats, and she's actually really good. She used to be way better back in the day, like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, something like that. Velouria was like a hidden top tier. I mean, she was always top tier, but like a hidden top tier in terms of usage. Like, she should have been used a lot more, was what I'm saying. Back when we didn't, like, there was really no anti-beast weapons as well. And her stats were like top of the line as well, so. Chat, let me just ask you guys, would you rather take Life and Death 4 or Attack Speed Push 4?
Her bulk isn't especially good, but I do feel that Attack Speed Push 4 would be better for Lethe overall. because it doesn't infringe on her bulk like Life and Death 4 does.
Here's the funny thing though, it really, like, in almost all instances, it almost just never matters. It was actually a trick question because I don't think there's a difference. In a case like this, there's not really a difference. If you ran something like Desperation or something, yeah, I can see a difference. But in a case like this, there's almost no difference. So it's either one's fine in my opinion.
That's a lot of speed though.
Yeah, I think that is overkill. Those 60. This allows her to be with her teammates, so I'm gonna assume you have beast teammates, so she can still transform. If your teammates are not beasts, anyways, and you're just keeping her isolated, then go back to attack speed solo. This is way better if she is isolated. If she's not isolated, then life and death makes sense. Attack speed push would just been just as good. But yeah, lull attack speed, panic smoke, guardian fang, heavy blade 3. This is really, really, really good. I do think you're overkilling on speed by a lot though. You do want to outspeed your opponent by 10, and you essentially have 63, 53. You can outspeed somebody that has 53 speed and still get the maximum usage of your fang, right? For the extra 7 damage, not to mention the extra 40% damage reduction. The entire combination is super good. It's just a good mage shot can still one-shot her. I've fought Leafs before as well. The thing is, I still remember fighting a crazy Leaf, like one away from max merge, or no, a max merge one, and I went Young Marth on her, and I still got the kill, but I barely got the kill. Despite her defense being like a lot lower and me doing effective damage and her being green, I barely got the kill. So yes, I can imagine how scary Lethe is. Like, if you don't do effective damage against her, you can get taken off guard pretty easily. And it's not like Marth is slow; it's just Lethe's ridiculously fast. So yeah, I don't have anything to add. Like, it's just a really good build. I will say maybe consider Gale Force. It's up to you though. It's Astral Blast, but I think Gale Force with Heavy Blade is much more valuable than Ether. But yeah, I don't think you really have to worry about damage, considering she's hitting 61, 7, 68, 2, another 4. You're hitting the 70s.